Good evening, Athena students, parents, and families. This is your weekend update for the week of February 3rd, 2020. We have a 5-day week coming up next week, and we are really hoping for an actual full 5-day week. At this point, it's crucial that we have that consistency. And I'm going to talk about some of the reasons for that in this weekend update video, but students just need that routine. They need that structure of 5 full days every week or as often as possible. They need that ability to hear a lesson, to practice it, to come back the next day, to build on those foundational blocks, and to continue that throughout the week. And when we have all of these interruptions, and we can't control the weather, we can't control snow days, holidays, but these interruptions can cause such a distraction to not only the building blocks of learning and what they are building on from previous days that may be 2 or 3 days away, but also just in the routine of learning, being in the classroom, being in the school, and remembering those routines of sitting quietly and listening and how we go through our transitions throughout the day. That's tough, especially on elementary age children. So we are really hoping for some consistent days of instruction. Now, especially that we are in second semester and we're building on so much of the foundational learning that we built on and put into place first semester, and we have a lot of work yet to do to get to the end of this semester. And I want to talk a little bit about that in this video this week. So I have been presenting to the Board of Education at our school board meetings since I've started in DeSoto, just on the work that we're doing at Athena. I've talked about the positive culture that we're building, the work that we're doing to increase our communication to our families, to bring families in the community into our partnership of learning. And that includes these videos, these weekend update videos as part of that communication tool. And this year, as part of our Athena plan, we really had a theme of intentional planning and how we were going to take some of our work that we were doing on a small scale with RTI to the larger, regular Tier 1 instruction in the classroom. And it works well because as a district, we are really having a push right now for improving teaching and learning. We look at our MAP scores, our assessment scores at the end of the year, and we're not happy. We know that they're unacceptable. We know that they're not where they want to be. And in a lot of ways, in my opinion, they're not reflective of what our students are capable of. Our students are capable of so much more than what our assessment results are showing as a building for Athena and as a district for DeSoto. And we've got to do better. And I know that that's not a job just for us. That's a job for us and you. We've got to have that partnership together. So one of the things that we're working on at Athena to attack what we do to improve teaching and learning is we're really looking at productive struggle. Over the years, we know that our students need to struggle because that's where the best and the most effective learning takes place. I showed a video to my staff, to the Athena staff, right before the holiday break. And the video was on productive struggle. What does that look like? What does that even mean? And it used the example of a child learning to ride a bike. We could simply ride the bike for them, and they wouldn't learn really at all because they're not even touching the bike. And that's similar to us just basically doing the work for the kids in the classroom or doing the work for the kids at home. We could continuously hold on to that bike while they ride, and that's great. The child's going to feel the pedals moving. They're going to be able to, learn how to steer, but they're never really learning how to balance. And if we ever take that scaffold away, if we ever take that support away, more than likely the child's going to fail. So there has to be a happy middle ground. We don't want to ride the bike for them, and we don't want to give them so much support that that they never fail. At the same time, we don't want to just throw them out there and let them fail, and never learn. So that happy medium is they've got to go out and they've got to feel the bike balance. They've got to have some of those falls where they're going to fail. And that is where they're going to learn the process of, why did I fall? Why did my balance go? The next time they may fall but catch themselves with their foot because they felt that feeling of the bike losing its balance. And eventually, through that productive struggle, they're going to learn how to keep that bike from becoming imbalanced. They're going to learn how to catch themselves from falling. They're going to learn how to keep the speed of that bike moving so that they can be successful. That is the learning process. And too often we take out the struggle in learning because we don't like to see kids fail. We don't like to see kids struggle. And that happens at home too. I am completely guilty of that as a parent. I will often help too much with my child because I don't want them to fail and I want them to be successful. And sometimes I think, well, they already know it, so I'm not really doing anything here except helping them get done with their homework so they can play and go to bed. But if I don't give my child that opportunity to productively struggle, then they're never going to learn. And at times, for us at school even, it feels like they're just failing and failing because they just do not understand, like they don't get it at all. But when you trust the process and when you allow them to struggle, they will have questions based on that struggle. Even if they don't understand, when they try it, they will have questions on what they got, what they didn't get, or the process they used that didn't work, but that's the process they used. And that gives us information on how we can then help them to overcome that imbalance and learn how to be successful riding that bike. So that's one of the many things that we are working on to help our students do better with learning. We're also raising the rigor and the expectations. We know that we can't hold students to this level and then expect them to perform at this level at the end of the year. It just doesn't compute. We've got to raise the bar for our kids, and we're doing it because we want our kids to be successful at the appropriate level. And so that's where you come into play. We need your help. We need your partnership. I'm a parent of 2 kids myself. I completely understand it, and that's why I think we've had so many good conversations, whether it be in my office, on the phone, or even through these videos of understanding how that parent-school partnership works. And it's not easy. It's very difficult as a parent, more so than a teacher, because you don't see the day-to-day struggles that they have. You don't see the day-to-day learning and successes that they have either. So you just see a small portion when they're working on homework at night that is hard, and it seems like they don't get it at all, and they're frustrated and they don't want to do it. So that's a hard component as a parent. But what we need from you is the same work that we're doing as a school. We need you to help us with them, to let them have that productive struggle, to encourage them, to reward them and celebrate when they have successes, when they see growth on tests, when they see growth on assignments. More so, please, please, please celebrate when they persevere, when they struggle and they don't want to do something, but they get it done and they do it anyway. When they work through a long reading passage or a long night of reading to get some reading practice for the next day, or when they work through a long math assignment that is difficult for them. That perseverance is such a skill that's going to help them lead to great success in school and in life. It's even one of our character words for this month. It was our character word for Student of the Month, perseverance. Celebrate with them, help them, but most importantly, don't give them so much support and scaffolding that they don't have that productive struggle. Now, that's just one component. We're doing so much more at school. We really want to work hard to improve what we do every day. And it doesn't stop this year. Even if one year we score 99% on the MAP assessment and all of our kids are proficient and advanced, we will still be looking for ways to improve because we want to give the absolute best to our kids, just like you do as a parent. Thank you, Athena families, 1, for listening to this very long video this week, but 2, for your continued partnership, for your continued understanding. This is not a perfect process. We have successes, we have failures. We try things that work, and sometimes they're awesome and they're successful. We try things that don't work sometimes, and we learn from it as educators as well. So all along this process, I just thank you for being a part of it. I thank you for the work that you do at home, because it's going to take both of us to reach the success that we want our kids to have. All right, nothing really big coming up next week, just a full 5-day week. There is a 6th grade math test on Chapter 5 on Monday. I did send home a call and an email about it, so Make sure that your child studies. They can study on Think Central, or they can do it in their math book. I think it's 307 to 312 is the page numbers, but you can check your email or your phones for that message. All the rest of you, thank you so much. As always, I encourage you to reach out if you have any questions or any suggestions or any way that you want to help more. Reach out to us, and we're glad to have that partnership. Have a great weekend, Athena families, and we'll see you on Monday for a full 5-day week.